It is a matter of immense pride that for the first time since independence, a son of Bengal delivered the President's address in the Central Hall of Parliament. Bengal's famous son has indeed come a long way since the time he was a professor of political science at Vidyanagar College in South Chobbish Pargana. We wish him well, we wish him happiness. We are truly, truly proud of him. This pride, however, sir, is tinged with deep regret. Because after 9 years, we expected a government to provide a satisfactory report card on what it has achieved.
That is always important.
Instead, they've told us about how bad things are nationally and globally. And in fact, they've also told us that they couldn't fix the problem in 108 months. And they've given us a kind of a thesis that they'll fix the problems in the next 12 months. And after that, hinted at, they will get a chance to fix the problems 60 months thereafter. Let me put their last thought out of the window right at the top of my presentation today. The next 60 months will not be UPA 3. There is no UPA 3 because the people of this country have figured this out, that vague promises made on infrastructure, vague promises made on women's issues, on farmers' issues, in fact, promises made have not been delivered. Since they wanted to know who would come for UPA 3, and we were there as part of UPA 2, but we soon figured out that UPA 2 in fact had become APA, Anti-People's Alliance, and that's why on FDI, on LPG, on prices of urea, on diesel prices, we came out of government. Sir, the story is about, and I won't talk in years, I'll talk in months. 108 months of running India as UPA. Let's look at that on one hand and look at 20 months of running Bengal by the Trinamool Congress with facts, with figures about promises made and promises delivered. So let's start with women because we always say ladies first. So women do not need tokenism because crimes like rape are as much about prevention. We need tangible solutions. Sir, in the last 20 months, 45 all-women police stations have been set up in Bengal. 151 fast-track courts are being set up in Bengal. 19 human rights courts are being set up, one in every district. This is an example of promises made and promises delivered. Sir, peace and development in Jungle Mahal. Sir, there was a time till about 25 months ago where a child couldn't step onto the field to play football, or a mother had to down the shutters when the sun set. Today, sir, it's very different. And this is not poetry, sir. These are real numbers. 3 years ago in Jungle Mahal, because there was a political will to bring peace, from 3 years ago, the numbers, and these are not our numbers, these are Home Ministry numbers, 425 deaths, 2011, 12, 50, this year, sir, 0. Peace and development because someone had the political will to bring peace and development. Again, another example of North Bengal, which is smiling, about promises made and promises delivered. Sir, let's look at the economic scenario. Economic scenario, they were thinking of bringing FDI, but actually before FDI, many years ago, the Congress government bought FID, which is fiscal indiscipline. And the LOP was giving you one example. I want to give you one real example about Bengal, because the communists were there for 30 years with the full backing of the Congress party. The Congress party encouraged the fiscal discipline. I'm not making excuses, I'm telling you what the solution is. So much so, a baby born in Bengal today is born with a debt of 70,000 rupees per child. 2 lakh crores is the debt burden encouraged by the Congress to the communists in Bengal. Now what did we do?
Shame.
Did we sit there and moan and say the situation is bad? No. We looked for solutions. In the last year of communist rule in Bengal, with the full support of the Congress for this fiscal indiscipline, the tax collection was 21,000. 21,000 collected. Sir, This year, you'll be happy to know, sir, Bengal has collected 31,000 crores in taxes. And not because we raised the taxes, but because we used creative means, and we even started e-governance, and e-governance has become one of the big things in Bengal now, sir. So we collect now 31,000 crores, but the problem still exists because we still have to pay back to the central government 26,000 crores in taxes. And where does that leave us? We've been asking and asking and asking for a 3-year moratorium on debt. Sir, we are not begging. We're not asking for sympathy. We're asking for the right of the people of Bengal of giving this back to us, sir. But for, sir, all the bad things we say about the Congress party, there are certain good things also. They also have a world record, and I want to congratulate them on this world record. Why not? Out of the central schemes and institutions they have, 58 of them, 27 are named after one family. State government schemes, 52 named after one family. University education institutes, 98 after one family. Medical institutions, 39. Very good. My only suggestion is, sir, these are already named, we can't change them. But in the future, may we humbly suggest some other names? Mahatma Gandhi has 4 named after him. Netaji has none. Tagore has 1. How about Bhagat Singh? How about Swami Vivekananda? Lal Bahadur Shastri? They need to get a little creative. Otherwise, I'm afraid no one is going to break the record, even if they don't name one more after the same family. But, sir, I want to stick to the positives, and I want to stick to this focus of 20 months against 108 months. Come to work culture, sir. Let me talk hard numbers. Work culture was a big issue in Bengal in 20 months. In 2009, sir, number of man days lost in Bengal, 76 lakhs every year. Look at the numbers for 11-12. Those numbers from 76 lakhs are down to 60,000. In 2012, 2013, the number is down to 5,200. Yes, sir. Promises made, promises delivered. A bandh was recently called, and we saw there also there was 98% of attendance at Writers' Building, because previously all these bandhs were government-sponsored bandhs. Yes. So let's come to some social issues. And I'm talking about the real promises delivered after they were made 20 months ago. Take health, sir. In 34 years, 7 neonatal units were set up in Bengal. Now, we could have been mourning, like the Congress is doing today, about mourning about the global economy. No, you got to change it because you want to change it. From 7 neonatal healthcare units in 34 years, in the last 20 months, 20 new units have been opened. And by the year end, 43 will be opened by the Mamata Banerjee government. Doctors, a wonderful model now in Bengal for doctors. What is the model? If a doctor works in the rural areas in the backward districts for 3 years, when he comes back, we give them a special quota on their postgraduate diploma. Or look at the Kolkata Municipal Corporation, who've taken 60,000 families under the Universal Healthcare Scheme. Or 1,000 sex workers have been included in the scheme. Sir, there was a very interesting survey not done by the Trinamool Congress Party mouthpiece, but a magazine called India Today. 2 weeks ago I read this, and it was published. And they talked about the #1 medical facility city in India. So we are proud to say it was from Bengal. It is Howrah. So we've managed to make a difference, sir, in 20 months. Look at physical infrastructure. 2,000 megawatts in 20 months, 1,500 more megawatts in the next 500 days, and in the next 600 days, Bengal will be power surplus. Sir, drinking water was a big problem in Purulia. Now, rather than sit and moan, we made some promises. We've delivered the promises with a 1,300-acre project in Purulia, and people are having good drinking water. So leave the physical infrastructure. Let's move on to the social infrastructure. Again, 20 months of promises made and promises delivered. Minorities, my colleague will speak tomorrow on this subject in detail. Schools, 44,000 teachers appointed, sir. This from a state where the communists stopped English 17 years ago. The teaching of English, sir. 4 additional universities, 1 ITI in every block, and a proposal to have 1 polytechnic in every subdivision. I have no special love for India today, but in their ranking of states, last year Bengal was 18. This year, after we've delivered these promises for education, we are 3. What about farmers, sir? 2 quick points on farmers. Jal Bharo, Jal Dharo, rain water harvesting. It's a unique scheme. We had promised 20 months ago, which was a huge promise, that we'd make 20,000 ponds. Sorry, correction, that we'd made 60,000 ponds. In 20 months, sir, we've done 43,000 pounds, which are helping farmers for rain harvesting. Kisan credit cards, sir, 10 lakh Kisan credit cards. 10 lakh Kisan credit cards, sir, given out to farmers. So all this has happened, sir. And the point we're trying to make here is that you don't need 108 months if you have political will. You can do it in 20 months. But, sir, the Congress party, sir, has a history of neglecting Bengal. Partition of India, historians sometimes believe, and I don't want to push this point, but actually it was the partition of two states, Punjab and Bengal. Netaji was elected president of the Congress, and we all know what happened there. But, sir, for 3 decades, the Congress party were keen to keep the communists in power in Bengal. Everybody knows this. And that's why in 1997 and on the 1st of January 1998, the one person who was serious about throwing the communists out, otherwise the communists would have been here for another 2 years. That's why Mamata Banerjee had to leave or was thrown out of the Congress party and set up the Trinamool Congress to finally remove the communists from Bengal, sir. Sir, let me talk now about the process of omission. Sir, not a word in the president's motion on poverty. Either the Congress have forgotten about it or they've eradicated it. Sir, not a word out of the 6,477 word address. Not a word about jute. Sir, India is the largest producer of jute. There are 70 of those jute mills, 60 are in one state. The employment is 400 lakh families. No mention of jute. Tea. It's been a great year for tea, sir. A wage agreement was signed beautifully in North Bengal, Darjeeling, the Duas, peacefully signed in 20 months. That was a win-win situation for tea. Sir, there's a rail budget discussion coming up next week, so we'll discuss that in detail, sir. But the rail budget was, I think, a true vengeance about how, when you take on someone politically because you think they've forgotten about the people at large of India, how they can be revengeful. 14,000 crores for Bengal last year. This year, something like 450 crores. Sir, last year the then finance minister, now with the highest constitutional authority, sir, he made a very noble and a wonderful gesture for Gurudev's 150 years, Rabindranath Tagore's. It was a wonderful gesture to set up Tagore centers across the world. Sir, nothing has happened to those Tagore centers. In fact, I charge this government to say the money for those Tagore centers, especially the one in Melbourne, have been diverted and used for other purposes. This is not only an insult to the memory of Tagore, but to the people of India. But sir, when it comes to diversions and commissions, there is something to be said on commissions, diversions, and in fact, let me conclude with an issue on defense. Sir, it is the norm over the world, more or less accepted, that 10-15% is given on. Yes, sir. I have two speakers, sir. Yes, sir. I'll take 2 minutes and my other speaker will take 10 minutes. I'm okay, sir.
There's one more.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 25 minutes for both. Thank you, sir. So, defense. So, it is the norm, sir, acceptable norm around the world that 10-15% commissions are paid on defense deals. Sir, if you ask the average Indian, what's the first image which comes to his or her mind when you say armed services? They'll probably tell you it's the image of a Jawan in uniform on a border post. But you ask a few people in government, what's the first image that comes to their mind when you talk about armed services? And I regret to say, sir, some of them will say dollar bills. Now, this is what I can't understand, because I said dollar bills. This is what I can't understand, because at one stage we say that the Prime Minister is an honest man, an honorable man. Then we go to say the Defense Minister is an honest man and an honorable man. Then pray, who is taking these commissions? And the point here is, Do the Congress party want to set up another world record? Do they want to set up another world record? Do they want to set up another world record? Do they want to set up, they have already set up a world record. Do they want to set up another world record do they want to set up another world record like they did with the naming by setting up the world's largest family enterprise? Yes, sir, this is sensitive. We know it's touchy. And Trinamool Congress now will have people behind the back saying ED, CBI, whatever. But sir, Trinamool Congress have two things behind their back. One is the support of Mamata Banerjee. Two is the love, the affection and the encouragement of the people of Bengal. So we are not bothered, sir. The youth of India, sir, are in no more in a mood to accept vague promises. The women of India, sir, are fed up with broken promises. The poor of India, sir, are tired of broken promises. Today's India demands, like the people of Bengal have done, you make promises, you deliver on them. Thank you, sir.